Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing a video on what happened to my first ever Rolex and its replacement, and I'm not gonna lie, it's an absolute bang. Let's go. So we're back in my sim room. Actually weather today is pretty nice, looking kind of cloudy, but we've got some blue skies, so everyone's really happy. Shorts are out, great weather, can't complain. My last video, it was snowing, it was terrible, but nice to see UK's come back with some bit of a nice weather that makes everyone a bit more happier. So where were we? Talking about my first ever Rolex. So what happened is in 2016, I bought, was it 2016 or 2015? I might have bought it and end up in 2016. And actually at the time I had a Rolex Deepsea 12660, just with the basic black dial. And I got offered that at my local AD at the time. And obviously, like I said from my previous video, go check it out. That actually was my dream watch. And it was all I wanted as a Deepsea. Obviously at the time, the James Cameron was hard to get. You had to pay over list, and I was like, I'll just take a black one. I'm happy with a black one. And obviously the date James Cameron was obviously, you know, if something happened in the future. So on this occasion, and it was the end of 2016, and I was at the family home at the time. All were at work. I come home, and the house was pretty much ambushed. Everything was like everywhere. I have dug out some pictures. I have to put them on, but take a look. And generally it was a weird situation because there was stuff which was moved but wasn't taken, and I think they were planning to take like consoles and the cameras, which they did, but they ended up finding my Rolex, which is kind of half my fault because I half left it out for them to see. But we move on, we learn from our mistakes, and you know, I'm a guy full of positivity. I don't want to talk about negativity too much because that's not what this channel is about. But anyhow, let's take a look at my replacement, and I'm proud to say I got a James Cameron. Let's change the camera angle and let's check it out. So here we have it then. Here it is. It's my James Cameron Deepsea 12660. It holds the stainless steel oyster steel case. It's 44mm, one of the biggest Rolexes in the range. Obviously you can see it's got a few scratches on there because I actually like to wear it. This is a piece which is probably never going to leave the collection, as it is my favourite all-time Rolex, so I do like to wear them. So you know, you can't help it. You see there's a little scratch on the side there, but you can't help it. But there's nothing a service cannot sort out. The difference from the plain dial to the James Cameron Dblue dial is obviously, as you can see, it's graduated from blue to black, and that represents the dive James Cameron did in his submarine, going to the deep depths of the ocean. And as you can see, I think it says 12,000 foot, which is obviously very deep. So yeah, there's the standard ceramic Rolex bezel with the iconic green deep sea, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I am sure that green is the same colour green that James Cameron's submarine was, which is pretty cool. Holds the perpetual movement, mechanical automatic self-winding, caliber 3235, Rolex in-house movement, got the standard chronograph, plus or minus 2 seconds a day. This is actually the Mark II. The Mark I, which was actually the one what actually got stolen from me, had the thinner bracelet, and I think they've took some advice and some feedback, and they've actually made it 1mm wider, which fits a lot more comfortable. And on the old one, when it was getting to the lower links near the clasp, it was a bit thin and and you could really kind of feel it. It just didn't felt quite right. It felt good, but not quite right. And now they've adjusted it. They've made it the 1mm bigger. It definitely feels a lot nicer to. Standard Rolex clasp with Rolex clasp, but this one is a bit different on Deepsea. It has got the glide lock, which I think is pretty bloody cool. Has got the glide lock, so I'll show you how that works. So basically what it is actually you can change the length of the bracelet. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. That's better. What you can actually do is you can adjust the bracelet length without actually taking the clasp off. So, for example, if you're, if your wetsuit, you can just you can just make it bigger. So there's no risk of losing it. So you take the safety clasp off, and you lift up the glide lock. As you can see, it's that. And then what that does is you can push this in. But it's actually fully out at the moment because that's how I like it. So say for example, that's your wrist size, you want to put your wetsuit on, safety clasp off, glide lock up, and you can just pull it out, down, on, extended. Bloody marvellous idea. Standard Rolex crown, obviously you can see it's a beefy old case. And to be fair, to see the dial on the camera is actually pretty difficult because the glass is so thick. It's very hard to see it without getting a mad reflection. I'm actually using 2 cameras to record today, so you can get some different angles. Standard helium escape valve for obviously any watch that is able to go deep. But the main perk about this is the dial. Obviously the dial, it's harder to find this dial. The dial actually is only, I think it's only 200 or 250 pounds extra from the black dial, but obviously it's worth so much more than the black dial on the second-hand market. And James Cameron is hard to get hold of. I've never ever seen one of these on the shelf, in the window of a Rolex AD ever since I've known. If you check back on my previous videos, I said, when I was 21 we went into my first store, and since then I've never ever seen one of these in the window. These have been over list price since I've ever knew them. But I did hear rumours, that this model might get discontinued very soon. So, I'm definitely going to hold on to it. And you never know. It's a fantastic piece. And they just had a look around, obviously, to save some weight. What they've done is actually they've gave it a titanium case back, which makes it that little bit lighter. I don't know how much heavier it would be with a normal steel case back, but Rolex obviously thought that was an appropriate thing to do. And there you are. This is my favourite ever Rolex, and what I'm going to do actually is this is just kind of a video with a story, because every watch holds a story, and I will do a full unbox and review in a video coming up soon, just to explain what's it like to wear every day. I've worn this every day, for a fair few months, and it's not for everyone's wrist because obviously it is a big watch. It's very chunky. If you had a small wrist, and luckily I've got quite a big wrist, so it fits quite nice, and it's quite nice. I'll show it on. What also is nice with this is, I am a very, as you can see, you saw me in my sim racing room. I am a very keen racer, and obviously when I watch Formula 1 at the weekends, and it is nice to see Nico Rosberg, Mark Webber, they all like to wear this piece because it is a very iconic piece that Rolex make. As I say, it's very hard because there's a big reflection. The glass is really thick, so it's very hard to get a the bracelet could be a little bit tighter because it does like to slide around because it's so chunky. And there you have it. This is my replacement for my Rolex Deepsea. I actually upgraded. I got the opportunity to upgrade to a James Cameron. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's my favourite Rolex today. Thanks for watching. I appreciate any comments. Please get in the comments. I always like a little watch chat. I like to see what people I've got coming or what they've just picked up. I always find that interesting. Please subscribe. Please follow us. And who knows, we might get a sim video up soon. Take care, guys. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Peace.